Hi, my name is Rachel and I'm the Heart Breath Therapist. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking to you about the 3 parent bodies of breathwork. Oftentimes when we search breathwork or hear breathwork, we think about one particular modality. Most likely it's tied to a breath that we've had in a meditation class, on an app, and or in a yoga studio. This particular breath style, which is breathing in and out of the nose, is pranayama breath. Pranayama breath goes back to yogis since the beginning of time, and it moves the breath in consciously through the nose into the body and then out. There's a process that happens within that breath that calms the mind and allows us to ground in and move some of the chaotic thoughts or nuisance thoughts that we have in our mind to come into a deep inner connection. So that's one style of breath, and there are lots of spin-offs that have happened throughout time. Like anything else, one parent comes in, somebody has an idea, adds their collective idea, and then it begins to grow off of that. So that's the one we normally hear of. The 2 others that we don't or we're hearing more about is a rebirthing breath and a holotropic style breath or a circular breath. A rebirthing breath is a breath that is a fast-paced in and out breath, often associated with birthing. When we use this rebirthing breath, which is a psychological or psychoactive way of healing in a therapeutic state and setting, I should never say do this alone, you're going to come up with different emotions and feelings and sensations that are often tied to particular traumas that are in our lives. And so therapists use this breath in conjunction with particular stuck points of trauma to help move that energy out of the bottom and create a new story, rebirthing. And offer an opportunity for us to undo some of these challenges. Oftentimes they're attached to birthing stories and or traumas in and around our childhood. The other type of breath is a holotropic style breath. Traditionally, holotropic style or holotropic breath in particular they're longer sessions. They are a circular breathing pattern, often done either through the nose rapidly or through the mouth. There are some that I have seen spin-offs of the holotropic style that are done in and out of the nose and mouth. When we get into this type of breath, what it does fundamentally is it triggers the fight, flight, or freeze response in a controlled setting and allows any of the energy and emotions that are stored within the body to come out of our body. And as a result, as they move and the oxygenation of the system happens, we have different feelings and emotions that arise, different traumas and experiences, and then we end up in an elevated state of connection within ourselves, spiritual experiences. Some people have it as if, depending on the space, the structure, the time, as if they have left their body. For some people, it is like a psychedelic experience, and for some people, it's extremely cathartic as they move stored energy and allow themselves to cry or to scream or to have these emotions that we often lock within our system. So those are the 3 different parent bodies, and I'm sure that there's some expert out there who's an expert in each one of those, or one of those who has some more to offer, and I would suggest looking them up and getting more information, as I'm not an expert in any of those particular fields. What I am an expert in is the breath that I offer, which is the heart breath. This is a intentionally curated method that I have worked on over the last few years, and it brings together 2 out of the 3 parent breaths, which is the pranayama breath and the holotropic. And I say style because the holotropic is done in a very particular way for a prolonged length of time. In the heart breath, we use pranayama to come and calm the mind and enter into a yoga nidra. So then we end up having a different type of experience within the body. Sometimes I will do a traditional yoga nidra, which is a slow pace through the body to ground in. For some, depending on the topic that I do in my classes, we do actually a rapid yoga nidra, which for some people can be a bit triggering in energy, which is great when you come into the holotropic style, the circular breath, because what that does is it allows us to really get into the connection with the body, releasing the mind so that we can have a fulsome somatic experience. And then I also add in heart energy work. So if you watch some of my other videos, we have a heart frequency that's about 5 feet from our body, anywhere from 3 to 10 feet really, but I just 5 feet as a kind of a piece to it. So during a heart breath session, we come into a meditative state using pranayama, we come into a yoga nidra, we come into our heart energy, we come into an intention setting. And once we set the intention so that we have neuroscience and positive psychology attached, for those of you who know about the power of intention setting, we then come into the holotropic or circular breath. In that experience, I have curated playlists that are very intentional, attached to the topic, and then as well as doing energy work as I guide through both online and in-person sessions with my own energy, holding space in the container like any facilitator or teacher who has a high impact, most likely does some type of preparation work such as this. And then we go into the experience and end with the Shavasana. So I choose 2 different models of breath and I incorporate them because first, oftentimes we're often stuck in our heads, and most of my clients or people are choosing to be more in their hearts. When we then come into the connection of releasing and stepping into, when we come out of that, we then have a deeper sense of integration. This is why people have more clarity, less stress. They feel less anxious. They sleep better. They eat better. They're drinking more water. They feel more grounded than they've ever felt before. So this is true for all breath patterns. This particular way that I've orchestrated these particular models together curate all of that possibility at a much greater capacity within ourselves and sustainably moving forward. So I wanted to leave that with you and share that information because we do get often confused when we're out there looking at what is breathwork, and I hear somebody say, I do breathwork, or I do a breathwork meditation, or I do breathwork healing. That's basically what they're talking, one of those 3 styles, or if they stepped into work like mine, it's a conjunction of the different models coming together to create a more holistic approach for mind, body, and spirit. So there you go, everybody. Hope you have a great day, and don't forget to connect to your heart space.